Dave Ramsay, the famous financial expert, once revealed that 79% of American millionaires inherited absolutely nothing. 5% only inherited a maximum of $5,000.
79% inherited precisely zero. 5% more inherited a small amount like $1,500 or $5,000.
And another 5% inherited their money only after they'd already became millionaires. This means 9 out of 10 millionaires in America are self-made. But how? How do they do it? The answer lies in these 5 essential habits. If you want to be a millionaire, you should follow too. 1. YOLO Not FOMO. Globally acclaimed actor Shah Rukh Khan, with a net worth of $770 million, was once asked by a fan how he rose from nothing to become one of the world's biggest film actors. He had a simple reply. He said, "There is nothing like taking it easy in life. To become big, rich, and famous, you have to make sacrifices. There is no other route." Even at 57 years of age, he still aspires to do more films, learn something new, and transform his body for every film that demands it, even though he hates working out. He can easily sit back and relax, spend more time with his family, or go on vacations. But he doesn't do that. He lives by the "you only live once" mantra, or YOLO. He wants to make the most out of his career, even when he doesn't have to. On the other hand, most of us average people live in FOMO, or fear of missing out. We constantly check what our friends are doing, what pictures they're posting on Instagram, and where they are going on vacations. We feel like not doing these things would make our lives drastically less meaningful. But what actually makes our lives less meaningful is not having the financial freedom to live life the way we want to. The time we waste due to our FOMO can be better utilized in building wealth that will last our lifetime and secure our family. Even if you miss out on a few parties, it won't do you any harm. But if you miss out on your life goals, you will regret it more than anything else. This is what billionaires call delayed gratification. They prioritize their work over enjoyment because when they do enjoy, they don't have to worry about their finances. So don't let FOMO get the better of you. Stay focused because your working age is short and you must not waste it. 2. Have a routine. Atlas Shrugged, an exceptionally inspiring book by Ayn Rand, starts with the words, "Your days are numbered." If you understand the true meaning of this phrase, you are on the right track of becoming a billionaire. Most billionaires keep a hawkish eye on their time, just like they do on their money. For them, maximizing time utilization is as important as maximizing profits. For example, Elon Musk, who is infamous for working 80 to 100 hours a week, wakes up at 7 a.m. every day. After spending half an hour reading about technology, he heads to the office for quick design and engineering discussions. Post that, he divides his remaining day into 5-minute segments devoted to each of his 4 companies: Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and The Boring Company. In his opinion, if you can't convince him of an idea in 5 minutes, then that idea is not worth his time. He leaves the meeting abruptly if he feels his time can be better utilized elsewhere. He never attends calls or checks emails while working. He likes no distractions while working and has admitted that his stringent routine helps him prioritize his tasks much more efficiently. After a hard day at work, he returns home at 10 p.m., spends some more time reading or watching anime before going to bed at 1 a.m. The next day, he repeats this all over again. And Elon is not the only one having a routine. Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, and Sarah Blakely all have a set daily routine that helps them achieve their productive best to manage their billion-dollar empires. So if you too want to achieve billionaire status, you must value your own time and clearly plan out your days. Set your own goals and targets, and then do everything in your power to achieve them in the allotted time. Having such daily targets challenges you and keeps you motivated. 3. Get out of your comfort zone. Richard Branson owes all his success to one person in the world, his mom, Eve. As a child, Richard was an introvert and always lived within his comfort zone. Eve never wanted Richard to miss out on great things because of his shyness, so she constantly tried to challenge him. It all started that one time when he was only 6 years old. As they were returning from a supermarket, his mom stopped the car 3 miles away from home and asked him to get out. Richard was shocked. He didn't know what he'd done wrong to face such a punishment. His mom explained that shyness would lead him nowhere in life. So that day, he had to find his own way home. She told him that he should talk to people and ask for directions to reach home himself. Although it could be a slightly dangerous approach in today's times, it was a lot safer back in those days. She knew Richard had it in him, and he only needed a slight encouragement. Finally, Richard found his way home all by himself. Eve could see the accomplishment shimmering in his eyes. She continued to push him to his limits with such unexpected challenges until he became more confident to accept life's uncertainty. And even today, he never fails to mention how those challenges helped him take meaningful business risks all his life. In his autobiography, Finding My Virginity, he explained he never even thinks of not trying new business just because he doesn't know how to do it. Constantly learning new things is his life's mantra, and he prefers getting out of his comfort zone with every new business idea. In his own words, he explains, "We like to work fast, to try ideas, see if they stick, and if they don't, quickly move on to the next," which is a very freeing mentality. And this is the reason why the Virgin Group is only one of the very few businesses to be known for residing in the unrelated diversification zone in the Ansoff Matrix. It owns close to 400 companies in the world, dealing in close to 60 different businesses, generating close to $23 billion in annual revenue. The lessons every aspiring entrepreneur can take from Richard Branson is to never stop learning new things. Constantly try to get out of your comfort zone and take calculated risks because nothing hurts more than an opportunity lost. 4. Find ways to fix problems. The most important quality about millionaires is that they believe in their ideas, no matter what the naysayers say. They surround themselves with people who believe in them, who motivate them, and who complement their skills, not those who always say it can't be done. The rise of Airbnb to earning $9 billion in year-over-year revenue as of June 2023 is a living example of this. Back in 2007, the world was on the brink of a global financial crisis. Two friends and roommates, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, were struggling to meet their $1,150 rent of their San Francisco apartment, but fate knocked at their door in a strange form. Being designers themselves, they were aware of the ISDA's prestigious International Design Conference being held in the city, which attracted designers from around the globe. But San Francisco's hotels were all full. Demand exceeded supply, and hotels saw this as a huge profitable opportunity to charge higher tariffs. Hearing about this, Joe and Brian got the idea of renting out their spare room to 3 designers for much cheaper. All they provided were 3 air mattresses, breakfast in the morning, and a roof over their heads. No frills. When they made $1,000 in just one weekend, they immediately thought of starting Airbnb. Joe contacted his old roommate, Nathan Blaharczyk, who later became a co-founder, to create their website. This website allowed the local residents to list their spare rooms for any event held in the city at rates cheaper than the hotels. Gradually, they got 800 listings on their website, but events took place only once in a while and properties remained vacant the rest of the time. Property owners didn't like this and started unlisting their properties. To prevent the exodus, Brian, Joe, and Nathan knew they had to provide bookings all year round, but that needed mass advertising, which needed funding. It was the middle of a recession, and no investor was interested in funding a startup heavily dependent on travel, providing much fewer facilities than a hotel, making only $200 a week. They thought that it was a completely crazy idea. The founders still tried to fix the problem instead of giving up. They realized all the listings had poor photos and short descriptions that repelled guests. They maxed out their credit cards and went to each property themselves, got professional photos clicked, and listed them on the site. Soon, their revenue became $400 a week. These photos attracted the famous drummer Barry Manilow, who wanted to rent the entire house for his crew. Till then, Airbnb only rented a room as the owner stayed on the premises. But soon, the founders realized that their business had a higher potential in the slowly developing vacation rental market. Once Barry posted his stay photos on the website, Airbnb simply kicked off. Soon after, Sequoia invested $600,000, and the rest is history. Airbnb's success is inspiring for every person trying to create a market of his own. The founders stuck with their idea through thick and thin. They knew they were onto something, and it was just a matter of time. They had a problem-fixing attitude, they tried to fix things, and that's what made Airbnb into a billion-dollar company today. 5. Take time off from your business. There is a very famous proverb, sleep on it, which simply means, instead of making decisions in the heat of the moment, take some time to think about the situation. While making the most of your working life is a great way to reach financial freedom, constantly working on it and not taking some time off for yourself makes you inefficient. Therefore, it is important to take periodic breaks. Even Bill Gates practices this principle in his life. He mentioned on his blog Gates Notes that no idea can become crystal clear when you are thinking too fast. In his words, it's not always a eureka moment. Ideas take time to pan out, and you should let them take their natural course of action. He prefers taking a whole week off in a year when he goes to a secluded cabin and spends time reading, thinking, walking, looking into new ideas, and relaxing. He has even developed this culture where anyone in the company can send him their new ideas, and he thinks of the select few during the Think Week to see whether they can be transformed into a business. He tries to cut himself off from the current state of business just to be able to think about the future. It helps him look at the problems from a whole new perspective and return to work with fresh, actionable ideas. According to him, it increases his overall efficiency and recharges him to tackle newer and more challenging problems. So, even if average people like us can't take a whole week off, it is always best to take at least a day off, to step out and just observe. If you're a filmmaker, go for a movie and observe where people laugh. If you own a food business, go to a competitor's shop and see what they're doing differently. Or simply plan a picnic out with your family. The time you take off rejuvenates you and gives you more ideas to implement in your business.